Hello, good afternoon. We are in the process of learning the best practices in programming as well as in the projects. Next tip is tip 36. Minimize coupling between modules. That is, modules should not be coupled. It should be loosely coupled. What is the property of a good software? It should be highly cohesive and loosely coupled. That means modules should not be depend each other, should not depend each other. It should be independent. Law of Demeter principle states that a module should not have the knowledge of the inner details of the object it manipulates. So each module should be independent, so that if you make changes in one module, should not get affected into other modules. That is, minimize coupling between modules. Tip 37. You configure, don't integrate. You can configure, but don't integrate. Use metadata to describe configuration options for an application. What is metadata? Metadata is any data that describes the application, how it should run, what resource to use, and so on. Typically, metadata is accessed and used at runtime, not at compile time. Metadata-driven applications, we want to go beyond using metadata for simple preferences. We want to configure and drive applications via metadata as much as possible. That is the techniques. To configure something, you can use metadata. Even sitting at in a remote place, you can configure some programs or some parameters of the program running on some equipment. So that is the configure, don't integrate. Tip 38. Put abstractions in code details in metadata. You know what is abstractions. You have learned it. There are several benefits to this approach. It forces you to decouple your design, which makes program more flexible. It forces you to create more robust abstract design by defining details. You can customize application without recompiling it. Metadata can be expressed in a manner that's much closer to the problem domain. We are able to implement several different projects using same application engine, but with the different metadata. So this is the tip 38. Put abstractions in code details in metadata, so that decoupling will be easy and it will be more robust. Tip 39. Analyze workflow to improve concurrency. You have to analyze the workflow. Like, and you will come to the next slide. Consider an online transaction processing system. The design address the following constraints. What are the constraints addressed by the transaction processing system? Database operations take a relatively long time to complete. For each transaction, we must not block communication services while a database transaction is being processed. Database performance suffers with too many concurrent sessions. That is, multiple sessions. At a time, multiple sessions can happen on this online transaction processing system. For example, railway booking system. Just imagine about that. Here you can see each box represents a separate process. Here input, communication are coming. Input 1, 2, 3, then application server, queuing, See, application server, logic is running here. This example shows a way to get quick and dirty load balancing among multiple consumer processes. The hungry consumer model. This is called the hungry consumer model. In a hungry consumer model, you replace the central scheduler with a number of independent consumer tasks and a centralized work queue. Yes, work queue. Each consumer task grabs a piece from the work queue and goes on about the business of processing. As each task finishes its work, it goes back to the queue for some more. Like that, one by one it is finishing. Tip 40. Design using services. Instead of a component, we have really created services. Nowadays in Agile, we are giving a working product to the customer. Every fortnight, we are giving a working product. It can be a service, it can be a product. So it should be independent, concurrent objects behind well-defined, consistent interfaces. That is design using services. Tip 41. Always design for concurrency. Concurrency is multiple tasks doing at a time. Here, allow for concurrency and you will design cleaner interfaces with fewer assumptions. Cleaner interfaces means thinking about concurrency and time-ordered dependencies can lead you to design cleaner interfaces. Sorry. Thinking about concurrency, the time-ordered dependencies, that is dependencies lead you to design a cleaner interface. The time-ordered dependencies, that is all those dependencies, dependency means, task is dependent one to one. Suppose dependency means a task A has to complete, to finish, to start task B. That sort of thing can lead you to design cleaner interfaces as well. Deployment. Once you have designed an architecture with an element of concurrency, it becomes easier to think about handling many concurrent services. The model becomes pervasive, omnipotent. It's available everywhere. That is the deployment case. Then trying to add concurrency to a non-concurrent. What is that return? It's a non-concurrent. Trying to add concurrency to a non-concurrent application is much harder. What is concurrent application? What is non-concurrent? You should know that separation. Concurrency means doing multiple tasks. Non-concurrent applications doing one task at a time. That is the difference. Tip 42. Separate views from models. MVC architecture. That is model view controller. Here, what is happening is gain flexibility at low cost by designing your application in terms of models and views. For the time of design, it may be a little bit harder, but once it is design and development is over, maintenance will be very easy. By loosening the coupling between the model and the view controller or controller, you buy yourself a lot of flexibility at low cost. That is the specialty of this MVC, model view controller. Separate views from models. While MVC is typically taught in the context of GUI development, it is really a general purpose programming technique. Model means the abstract data model representing the target object. The model has no direct knowledge of any views or controllers. It is independent. View, a way to interpret the model. It subscribes to change in the model and logical events from the controller. That also is a separate view. And controller, a way to control the view and provide the model with the new data. It publishes events to both the model and the view controller. So these three independent events make sense in developing the software. Use blackboards to coordinate workflow. In a project, you have to coordinate different workflows so that blackboards can be used. Even computer blackboards are there. We can use the blackboard to coordinate disparate facts and agents while still maintaining independence and even isolation among participants. So independence we can maintain. And isolatedly you can unite in a unity in an isolation can be bring to with the use of these blackboards. A blackboard systems let us decouple our objects from each other completely. Provide a forum where knowledge consumers and producers can exchange data anonymously and asynchronously. Blackboard implementations. Computer-based blackboard systems were originally invented for use in artificial intelligence applications, where the problems to be solved were large and complex speech recognition type of things, knowledge-based reasoning systems, and so on. So these are blackboards are used mainly for this AI applications. Modern distributed blackboard like systems such as Java Spaces and T-Space, URL 50, URL 25 are based on a model of key or value pairs, where the concept was known as tuple space. This concept is known as tuple space. It's a distributed blackboard. You can work from different places. Organizing your blackboard. Large amount of data, difficult to locate data on blackboard. Solution is to partition the blackboard and organize the data. When a large data is represented in a blackboard, you have to partition the data. Then it will make sense. Different software systems handle this partitioning in different ways. Some use fairly flat zones or interest groups, while others adopt a more hierarchical tree-like structure. So that is differently they will do that. Software is doing it. The blackboard style of programming removes the need for so many interfaces, making for a more elegant and consistent system. When you can organize the things in a blackboard, you can eliminate lot of interfaces. That is, interfaces can be optimized. Don't program by coincidence. Rely only on reliable things. You may be successful while sometimes your program may work in a coincidental manner. Like when you are without much knowledge, you will be working and you may get the correct answer. But that is not the way. How to program deliberately. Always be aware of what you are doing. Don't code blindfolded. Proceed from the plan. Rely only on reliable things. Document your assumptions. Before you start your project, you will have a lot of assumptions. Based on some assumptions, you are working. So your main objective is to, if your assumptions comes true, there is no risk at all. Otherwise, you have to do some risk will be there. Don't just test your code, but test your assumptions as well. Don't guess, actually try it. So that while doing the programming, even some complex problem.